Welcome to Littleton Common. I'm Barbara McRae.
And I'm Bob Spinozzi.
We are trying to change the format of this show to bring you more information about what is happening in Littleton and the surrounding communities. So let's see what's happening here in March. So Bob, it's March already.
Hard to believe.
It's hard to believe. So we went through, we kind of breezed through the winter, but I wonder what's going to happen now.
I don't know. We didn't have the 120 inches of snow that we had the previous year, so we're already
we'll leave it at that.
On an upswing.
Okay. The Friends of the Council on Aging hosted a Valentine's party in February. Tony Funches was the entertainer, and he certainly knows how to entertain. We all had a great time. My cheeks were hurting from smiling the whole time. We love to see all of our seniors come out to join the fun. Our volunteers are the best. They each took a job and went with it. The kitchen wasn't ready, so our volunteer family made a makeshift one, I should say, in the hall and catered the meal. Nothing like teamwork, but it all turned out well, and everyone had sandwiches, salad, and the best brownies. We are moving on to St. Patrick's Day with a corned beef and cabbage meal catered by Neshoba Tech culinary class. We just love having them. They are fantastic. We will go to the Tech for this luncheon and already have a long list of seniors planning to come. Entertainment will complement the day's Irish theme. But call 978-540-2470 and see if there is still room for you. This is a very popular day, and the price is $5 per person.
You know, Barbara, Neshoba Tech was actually out there last month. They had their official ribbon cutting ceremony for the new veterinary assisted program.
Wow.
It's actually a partnership between the school and the MSCPA Angel Animal Medical Center. I still call it Angel Memorial, the old name. But the facility is a veterinary clinic. It's open to residents of the Neshoba district who qualify financially. That's important. It's also a school, though, where students will be able to watch surgical procedures, learn anatomy, physiology, safety and restraint, and much more. It's a real professional setup there. I was really impressed.
This is a great school.
It really is, you know?
Yeah.
And, getting back to the Angel Neshoba Clinic, the hours, 7:30 to 4 o'clock weekdays, and it's staffed by Dr. Lawrence Sawyer and Lisa Quinones, a certified veterinary technician. They offer spay-neuter services, vaccinations, basic veterinary care, and again, for those who are financially eligible. And you can check the school and the website for any further information. They're located in the back of the property, right a couple doors down from where you're going to be having that luncheon at the Elegant Chef.
Oh yeah, that's right. They could probably stop out and check on it.
Yeah, but it's very, very impressive. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. So this is brand new?
Brand new.
Wow.
Brand new part of the curriculum that the school's offering.
And they offer a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a setup,
Yeah, great. Good. Glad to hear it. We want everyone to know that the Senior Follies cast is busy rehearsing as we speak. You have been a terrific audience for the past 2 shows, and we hope we can entertain you with laughs again this year. But we are moving to the high school auditorium and the larger stage. Are we nervous? Yeah, a little bit. But we enjoy laughing at ourselves. So join us on April 17th at 3 p.m. at the Littleton High School Auditorium. The tickets will be on sale starting March 1st, and they'll be at the Friends Thrift Shop and from any cast member. The cost is $5. When you come into the thrift to buy your tickets, check on our sweater sale. We have an abundance of sweaters and tops, so our volunteers suggested we have a sale of them. Price from March 1st to March 15th, and it will be $1 each. Please do not confuse this with the $3 a bag sale. That comes at another time, but we will have some flash sales in the meantime. It's so good to have our own Tony Jasinski working with our seniors on their taxes. And Bob, you stopped by to chat with Tony, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, and here's what we talked about.
Great.
Tony, thanks so much for being with me today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, now you prepare taxes for residents of Littleton.
Correct.
You're a volunteer and you're trained.
Right.
So why don't we start with that?
Okay, we'll start with the training process. The volunteering goes just, I don't know, I've done it for 24 years. So
Okay.
I've done it for a long time. The training is different each year because of the changes in the tax code and those kind of things. But we're trained by the IRS, AARP, and the Mass Department of Revenue, DOR. So they come and they give us classes of what's changed, what's got to be done, and what has to be, what we look for. And they give us, you know, a bunch of parameters, and they're always here. Like we were just audited yesterday, February 23rd, by the IRS. They came in and checked out our whole situation and checked out 2 returns and made sure that we were doing everything right. And we passed with flying colors, by the way, me and Steve Sussman. So we're trained, and then we just go in here and the COA takes the names. We're a by appointment only organization. It's very important because, you know, you don't have drop-bys. Like when we did it in the library for the first couple of years that I was here, people would just drop by. Some days you'd have nobody, and other days you'd have 15 people sitting there.
So we're by appointment, but we're also by income limitations.
Right.
You can't have over a certain amount of annual gross income? Is that
there's really just, yeah, just 100% above the poverty level. So we're talking about $50,000.
Okay.
$50,000 per year.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, so, and that includes your Social Security and any pensions, annuities, or interest that you may have.
So any bank interest,
right?
If you have any stocks, any dividends, any income.
Any income at all. Yeah. So that's it. That's the cap, and we don't do that here until after, of course, the return is done. But most of the people know that. I mean, because we publish it for 3 months in the broadcaster about what the income levels are, what's required, and what you have to bring with you when you come in.
Okay, let's talk about a couple things that are popping into my mind right now. One of them is the real estate tax, I'll call it rebate, that you could be eligible for, how that works. And then another question I have for you is, I would guess that people's medical deductions is a very important part of their return.
Okay, but that's only a deduction from income.
Okay.
So it would have to be, if you have no income other than Social Security, okay, you can't get that money back.
Okay.
And you have to pay income tax. It's not a refundable one that you're entitled to. You have to pay in, and all that does is reduce the amount that you pay in. It just reduces the amount at the end. So you don't get anything for it. You know, like people come in, especially the older folks, all they have is Social Security and one pension. Well, they don't have any income tax taken out of their pension. So that all the income, all the medical expenses that you have, none of it is deductible.
Okay.
You could put it there, but it doesn't affect their tax at all.
Interesting.
Not at all.
Okay.
And then the second part of the question was the circuit breaker, which is the rebate on property taxes that the state funds through lottery ticket sales. So what they do is they cap it each year at a different one. It's going up $20 a year in the last 5 or 6 years. It's currently at $1,070. So what happens if your income is at a certain level, and that includes everything, was under, I believe, $35,000, then you're entitled to the entire amount, and it is prorated up to $45,000. So if you 35, you get $1,070. You hit 45, you get 0.
Okay.
But in between, you could get up to $500 and some dollars. So you could, you know, it's capped at 45. And 90% of the returns that we do are for the circuit breaker, for the elderly.
So you do returns for, anyone is eligible to have the returns done by you if they
Right.
fall within the income parameters. But you just happen to do mostly for elderly.
Right. We're sponsored by the COA.
Yeah.
And my timesheet is signed by the COA so that I get credit with, you know, the town. I also get a town break on my taxes. So.
And if you've been doing this for 24 years now,
Yeah.
you must have a lot of repeat customers.
Well, here I've been doing it 11 years. I did it for 15 years or so, or 12, 13 years.
So 11 years here.
11 years, yeah. 11 years here. So I've been doing it for 11 years. Yeah, you got a lot of repeat customers. That's what the requirements that the AARP for privacy and the onerous IRS rules about, you know, you have to fill this out, you have to fill that out, you have to prove who you are or whatever. I find some of them, you know, at times trying, well, wanting to say, forget it, I know who you are, you know, you're not going
Sure.
nowhere. So I try not to do that because it has to be done. And if you don't do it, you get gigged. Like when the IRS was here, she says, the inspector said to me, she says, well, you know them? I said, well, I do, but, you know, the rules. And that's what they do during training. They instill in you what you have to do and how you have to do it. And they've been known to close down sites. They closed a site in Harvard 3 years ago because, you know, there was only one person there, and he was just going willy-nilly.
Yeah, I mean, in today's society, you have to show picture ID for
Right.
anything
Exactly.
wherever you go.
Yeah, and we require that, and proof of Social Security or health insurance, which is becoming increasingly complex. You know, you have to show Obama, you belong to Obamacare and all of that kind of thing, and Medicare, and the one for the state, Medicaid. So, but the Shine guy there with the really low income, he can get Medicaid, the state's funded medical insurance to pay for Medicare, etc. So here, you know, there's a lot of benefits available to the senior citizens in this town, and what we try to do is give them everything that they deserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this program is being shown in March. We're in March right now, so you know, folks still have a little more time, and I think
Right.
this year we get a couple days after the 15th.
Yes, we get 2 days after the 15th.
Yeah, and of course we should not wait till the end.
You'd be surprised how many people. There's always a waiting list at the last day, and the calls, you know, the panic calls, etc. Yeah.
But you prepare the returns, but then the person is responsible for mailing their own.
No. We also have e-filing. Yeah.
Oh, you can do that here.
Right.
Okay.
In the last couple of years,
Okay.
about 5 years ago, they gave us the e-filing capability. So what we did was we incorporated that into our brochures, our posters, etc. That we will e-file for you, and 99% of the.
Oh, okay.
I only did 2 paper returns last year out of 108. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
So you do the federal and the state.
And the state,
returns,
yeah. When you do the state, or when you do the federal, it automatically populates a lot of the state because the numbers are the same. You know,
Okay.
so it populates. Like you don't have to do the federal and then do the state. When you do the federal, it populates an awful lot of the state returns, so that you can, you know, you don't have to spend as much time. But it is kind of time consuming, especially people with names and addresses and everything. And my eyesight, of course, is getting a little bit weaker, I guess. So, you know, the numbers are getting longer and shorter and smaller and blurrier, I guess. But yeah, but we got Steve Sussman and I do it. We've been doing it now for about 4 years.
So what's the best way for folks to find out if they qualify? To call you or someone?
We have it in the broadcaster, and I'm sorry, but I didn't memorize them. But yeah,
No, that's quite all right.
Yeah, but the parameters are all over the place.
Okay.
We put them in the broadcaster the last 3 months, December, January, and February. They put all the requirements in there, what you should bring with you, you know, and all of that. There's quite a lengthy bit in the broadcaster. It's probably half a page, and it is, you know, a lot of people are, when they come in, they're all, first time, they're all nervous and everything. But once you work through it and they get an idea of what they really need, then it's, the next year is a little bit easier, and the year after that, it's like falling off a log. You think, oh yeah, I could do this, got no problem. But we have a lot of people who have been doing it for years and years and years.
Okay. And for those who haven't done it yet, where would they find you?
But they have to call the COA
They
because we're by appointment.
COA. COA. Right.
Yeah, right.
CIA.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. Go ahead.
Yeah, but they have to, like I said, we're an appointment, by appointment only.
Through the
COA, right. They're our sponsoring, in this locale, they're our sponsoring entity. So they give us the list in the morning. Yesterday we had 8. We do it at half-hour increments. 2 at 9, so that Steve and I can start, and then every return is reviewed by a quality assurance reviewer, which is, when you're not a preparer, you're a quality assurance reviewer. So
okay.
We switch over. Like all of a sudden, I'm the quality assurance reviewer, and Steve is the preparer. So we just switch over. We move from office to office and just go over the return. Try to make sure that the payer's ID numbers are correct, the numbers that you put in are correct, you know. And most of the time we are, you know, I don't know why, but sometimes towards the end of the day, you get a little dyslexic on numbers. You switch them around or whatever. So we're very careful. We're more careful during, you know, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon than we are at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, and then, but during the process, it's totally private, one-on-one.
Right. It's once we complete it, we send it on to the AARP. They e-file it, and then it disappears. You know, we have no access to it here. And the IT person that they have here, Nancy, is fantastic. Because I remember I said, geez, how are they going to get this? And she says, don't you worry about it. And boom, 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 and it was gone. You know, it was all done. So, yeah. So we appreciate the tremendous support that we get here from the COA, the IT department, and the town. Because I use the Veterans Office, and the Veterans Office has a town computer in it, has a town printer, you know, the whole bit. Everything is supplied by the town. But the support we get is just fantastic, phenomenal.
Well, that's great. Great teamwork.
Yeah, it is.
So we'll end it on that note.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks you very much. Thank you.
Thanks for all your help.
You are. It's a pleasure. It really is. I wouldn't do it if I didn't want it.
Barbara?
And again, remember, the IRS does not call demanding payment. It's a scam, so hang up. The Littleton Senior Citizens Group is back starting on Monday, March 21st at 1:30 in the townhouse. There will be refreshments and entertainment by magician Stephanie Beach. This group is strictly social, and it's a time to enjoy being with friends and meeting new ones. Another time to enjoy being with others is Craft Day. This month's craft is adult coloring. Pens and pencils will be provided as well as templates to color. If you have your own pens and pencils, feel free to bring them. We've heard this is becoming very popular and it's relaxing to do, so join this group on Wednesday, March 23rd at 1 p.m. in room 230. You know, we often mention a room number for activities. So for those of you who know nothing about the Council on Aging or where they are, the council is located on the 2nd floor of the town office building. The library is on one end and the Council on Aging on the other. And all the town offices are 2nd and 3rd floors. The community television station is right in the middle of the building, 2nd floor. The Veterans Office is 2nd floor also. When we mention exercise or luncheons, that is the multi-purpose room, 1st floor. Park and Rec office is also on the 1st floor and the school department on the 3rd. I hope this helps when we mention where to go for any office or program you need to find. The council is renovating the senior kitchen and we will be glad when it's finished.
Renovation projects, yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, the Boston Globe real estate section, gut reaction. You can imagine what this article is about. Renovating different parts of your house. Mm-hmm. It's a really great article. It gives the guesstimated costs. They took average costs from different different organizations. Kirby should be doing the story right now.
Yeah.
He's very well versed in this. But great breakdown, and of course, kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling are the two obvious great payback projects that you have. But also, your roofing, new windows, even a new deck. Doesn't quite have the same amount of payback, but they're still ample. But you know what? There's a business in town right next to Hunter Appliance, flooring and kitchen design of Littleton. And I went over there and I spoke to Andrew Leduc about the renovations that they do.
Great, let's hear it.
Yeah. Okay, we're at Flooring and Kitchen Designs of Littleton. You know exactly where we are. We're right between Donald Supermarket and Hunter Appliance on Great Road. Andrew, thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, why don't we start out by talking about the choices of flooring that you have here?
Sure. We carry a lot of things here, a lot of porcelain tile, ceramic tile, hardwood. We are a Mohawk Color Center Elite, so we carry all their full hardwood line, as well as some other brands. We have, I'm saying a lot, sorry. We have laminate, we have vinyl planks, vinyl tiles, as well as sheet products, which is, not your parents' old school vinyl. It's upgraded fiberglass product, so very durable and works well in a lot of areas of the house.
So really, you're changing a lot of hardwood flooring and carpeting as well. And people do both for different reasons.
Correct, yeah. A lot of times the hardwood's still on the first floor, carpet in the bedrooms really creates a nice balance and warm environment. Okay.
Now, we also very heavily do kitchen and bathroom renovations here. So why don't you walk us through the different steps that you have here, where you'll do the walkthrough process of a home, do the evaluation, offer your opinions, and go from there.
Sure. Well, what's great is anybody can come in here and just ask us to come out, take some measurements of their space, whether it's a kitchen or bathroom. We'll spend some time. We'll spend some time talking about the styles that they want to go for, the feel that they're going for, and we'll take all those measurements, bring it back to our showroom, put together 3D images with accurate measurements and color selections of the products they chose. And all that is for free, by the way. There's no design charge, no consultation charge for us. Customer then comes in, makes their selections. We come out again if we need to revise some measurements to change the plan, and we just kind of revise until you're happy, and then we can finalize from there.
Okay, now we've agreed on the price, and if I'm having my bathroom renovated, you're going to take care of all the coordinating all the vendors when they come, what they do, and everything that's involved.
Correct. We use local plumbers, local electricians. We have a contractor on staff if we ever need to remove any walls, to pull out old tubs, to put in new showers. We really have the capability to handle all of that, and what's best is we use local people.
Okay, great. Now, we've talked about different things that you do locally, but your company also has done some very large commercial projects in Metropolitan Boston. Tell us about those.
We have. We've gone into both MIT, Tufts University, we've done Lexington High School, and pretty much on the scope of those projects, we've replaced all the flooring. We've replaced cabinets for some of the classrooms, some of the teachers, kitchen areas, countertops. We've done some custom building work in there as well. We really go anywhere to help someone out. We've gone down to Barnstable, down to the Cape before as well. So those large-scale projects don't really scare us.
Yeah, I mean, you're at Littleton now. Flooring and Kitchen Designs of Littleton, but also as of a couple of weeks ago, of Townsend.
Correct. Yeah, we're very excited. Just beginning of the month, we opened up out in Townsend. We're in the Harbor Village Mall Plaza across from the high school. We're excited. We carry some new products out there as well for flooring that's really changing the game when it comes to the flooring industry.
So that's great. You have plenty of different things to choose from here, and we're going to be reviewing those before we leave here.
Wonderful.
So thanks for being with me.
Thank you very much for having me.
Barbara?
The movie for March 24th at the Council on Aging is The Martian. This is an American science fiction movie starring Matt Damon as astronaut Mark Watney. He is presumed dead after a fierce storm and left behind by his crew. Woo.
Do you know anything about this?
No. Do you like science fiction?
I know a little bit about this movie. there's a big storm up there, I believe, and he gets killed. Or does he? Or does he? You're going to have to come and watch the movie to find out, yeah.
Well, let's hope he doesn't, because we like Matt Damon. But meantime, do you like to sing? Why don't you join the chorus of the Cameron Music Makers? They meet on Friday mornings from 9 to 10:30 a.m. You can call Tom Boyer at 978-577-6173 or Carolyn Harlow at 486-8589 for more information. You know, we should do that here in Littleton. We should have a chorus because we have musicians and vocalists who might want to get together and form a group. It's something to look into.
Yeah, what you're going to say right now is...
Yeah, you know, because we do the Follies, and our cast enjoys the playtime, and Carolyn is in our Follies too. Indian Hill programs keep on giving. Evanthea will give us the latest news from there. Hi, Evanthea.
Thanks, Barbara. You know, March is one of the busiest months over at Indian Hill Music, and I just can't wait to tell you why. Things start out on Friday, March 4th with a faculty concert. We've got 3 of our excellent pianists, Eric Kamen, Jenny Tang, and Monica Tessitore, coming together to play music of Haydn, Mozart, Schubert, and Beethoven. Again, that's Friday, March 4th at 7:00 p.m. And tickets for that are just $10. Find out more at indianhillmusic.org or 486-9524. And then on Sunday, March 6th at 3:00 p.m., again over at Indian Hill, we have Celtic fiddler Laurel Martin and friends coming to perform traditional Celtic music through song and dance. So Laurel will be accompanied by Mark Roberts on flute and banjo, Keith Murphy on guitar and vocals, and they'll also have an Irish dancer, Kieran Jordan, joining them. So again, that's Sunday, March 6th, 3:00 p.m. And again, that's tickets are $10, and you can always come to the door for those concerts. Our Discovery Lecture Series continues on Tuesday, March 8th at 7:00 p.m. And this time you can learn all about the classical period in music with one of our faculty pianists, Eric Kamen. And again, that's admission will be $10, and that is Tuesday, March 8th at 7 p.m. Our Indian Hill Music Youth Orchestras, our 3 string orchestras, will be performing their concert on Tuesday, March 8th at 7 p.m., and that's over at Littleton High School. So a chance to see our student performers in 3 levels of student orchestra. So again, Tuesday, March 8th, 7:00 p.m. Tickets available at the door for that one as well. And then we have our Indian Hill Music School open house, and that will be on Saturday, March 12th from 1 to 3 p.m. And that is for all ages. Come on down to the music school at 36 King Street and see what we've got. We've got classes and lessons available for all ages. And you can also find out about our summer programs that will be happening. So Music School Open House, free for everyone, Saturday, March 12th, beginning at 1:00 p.m. The Orchestra of Indian Hill continues its season, and that will be on Saturday, March 12th, again at 7:30 p.m., and that's over at Littleton High School. Maestro Hangen and the orchestra will be performing the classics, music of Beethoven, his Symphony No. 1, Mozart, and also Schubert, the unfinished Symphony No. 8. Again, over at Littleton High School, tickets are $20, $35, and $50, and you can find out more at 486-9524 or online at indianhillmusic.org. Our wonderful Box Lunch concert series continues on Thursday, March 17th. We've got 2 shows, one at 11, one at 1:30 p.m. And this time, members of the North Shore Chamber Music will be performing works by Haydn and Beethoven and Brahms and Dvorak. It'll be a great concert. So check that out, a free concert. And then things will wrap up on Saturday, March 19th at 8:00 p.m. over at the Kaleidoscope Gallery in Groton, when we'll have pianist Yafei Shuang performing an all-Ravel program. That's going to be another great concert. So check us out online, indianhillmusic.org, or give us a call, 486-9524, or stop over at Indian Hill Music at 36 King Street. We'd love to see you.
The Littleton Lyceum presents the Tanglewood Marionettes, the Dragon King, and that's on Friday, March 18th at 7:30 p.m. The Dragon King is an underwater fantasy based on Chinese folklore and tells the tale of a grandmother who journeys to the bottom of the sea in search of the elusive Dragon King and the answers to why he has forsaken the land above. This is sponsored by the Littleton Rotary Club. And you may want to purchase your tickets online, but I'm sure you can buy them at the door. The Littleton Cultural Commission, in conjunction with the Massachusetts Cultural Council, is providing a grant to bring Greg Malchek to the Council on Aging for a workshop entitled Stunning Still Lifes. And that's on Wednesday, March 9th from 12 to 2 p.m. You know, this is a popular free hands-on pastel workshop with all materials included. Wow, that's wonderful. So have you signed up? And if not, call 540-2470 now. The library has many interesting programs, and here's Sam to give us the latest.
Thanks, Barbara. And here's a sampling of what's happening at the library in March. Please remember to check the library website at littletonlibrary.org to sign up or for any changes in the schedule. On Tuesdays, join us for Yarn Overs, a free knitting and crocheting group for the Littleton and surrounding community. Any and all skill levels are welcome. This program takes place in the library Cooper Room at 7 p.m. Wednesday mornings at 11, join Mrs. Haddock for story time in the children's room. Mrs. Haddock will read some stories to children ages 3 to 5. Be sure to stop by to make some new friends and to read some new books. The first Wednesday of every month is the Young Adult Gaming League at 6:30. Teens are invited to take part as we play an assortment of tabletop games, or feel free to bring your own games, including laptops and portable systems. PJ's Storytime with Mrs. Cello takes place on Wednesday nights at 7 in the children's room. Come and listen to Mrs. Cello read some great books. You can wear your PJs to this fun event for kids. Thursdays in the children's room at 4:30 is after-school story time for those in kindergarten to third grade. Mrs. Haddock will read some longer picture books and sometimes a really good chapter book. You don't need to register, just drop in. Lego Club for 6 to 10-year-olds meets on Tuesdays this month at 3:30 in the Cooper Room. Please check the library calendar for more information. Come in and play with thousands of Legos. You can create what you want or work together to create larger projects. We have our movie matinees for kids on early release days at 2 p.m. Check the library website or Facebook for more information. Join us for the film Spotlight on Thursday, March 17th at 7 p.m. The film is free and open to the public. Please sign up on the library website. If you're interested in travel or want to learn more about other countries, the library has a new database called Global Road Warrior available. Visit the library website at littletonlibrary.org to learn more. The Friends of the Library can always use your help with book sorting donated books for their book sales. They usually meet the third Sunday of every month in the Cooper Room at 1 p.m. There's a great opportunity to receive credit towards your volunteer requirements. If you're interested in becoming a friend of the library, please stop by the library to learn how. They are always looking for new members. Don't forget, we also have several museum passes available to many local museums and events. Thank you.
Sometimes just watching TV, we feel like we need to learn self-defense. I guess you can never be too old to learn how to protect yourself. Police officer Ashley Brooks is coming to the Council on Aging to offer a 10-session class for us older adults on defensive strategies and awareness information. Twice weekly sessions begin Wednesday, March 23rd and Friday, March 25th. And it'll be 1 to 2:30 in the multi-purpose room. And we know where that is. It's on the first floor. There will be a class on scams and frauds. So sign up at 540-2470. And you won't get a black belt, but you will get a class in awareness.
Awareness, yeah. You got your newsletter, Littleton Light newsletter. I think we all did in the mail,
Yeah,
all the customers.
the Littleton Light Department.
Watson Drops.
Yeah.
Quarterly newsletter came out last month, and it was mentioned in the newsletter that they've expanded their selection of light bulbs for 2016. They now offer bulbs for chandeliers, recessed lighting, and outdoor spotlights. They also have low-flow shower heads and sink aerators to save water. And all of the products are sold at greatly reduced prices for all customers from Littleton and Boxborough. Now, the bulbs are part of the Green Rewards program that include rebates for the purchase of certain appliances and monetary credit on your electric bill. It qualifies you for energy-efficient home improvements. There's all sorts of info on their website, or you could go down to the office on Air Road. We both brought the flyer in. What really caught my eye, Barbara, was the comparison of electric rates.
Ah.
We have the average electric bill, average usage, kilowatt usage of several towns listed here. Mm-hmm. Littleton came out as the lowest, having the lowest rates in the entire state of Massachusetts.
Oh my goodness.
And we have,
good for
again, an average electric bill, average now, of about $80 a month. And with the same kilowatt amount of hours, this chart goes all the way up to $180 a month for Unitel customers. That's mainly out in the Fitchburg area. But it's staggering.
Yeah, it
the
is.
Difference.
We have a good town and good companies.
There are a lot of good things
Yeah,
here.
lots of
Absolutely.
good things.
Agreed.
Well, let's see. We have something else here also. You might want to sign up for the hearing clinic. There are other ways of being aware, and hearing what is around you is important. Megan Ford of HearSmart can help you with that. Megan will be at the COA on Tuesday, March 15th. So call the COA office and add your name to that list. I just want to mention a couple of things happening in April and May. The day trip to Foxwoods with Park and Rec on April 5th is one. Are you new to town and haven't had the opportunity to meet other people? Call Courtney Walker at the Outreach Office, 540-2472, and ask about the Newcomers Group Program. The next meetings are March 8th and April 5th. And don't be shy, call Courtney. Especially if you're new to town, I think that's really great because, you know, sometimes you don't know how to meet new people. So do that. The Senior Follies is April 17th. They're No Angels. That's the title. The 36th Annual Senior Conference, which is hosted by Senator Eldridge, is on Thursday, April 21st, and that's from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. This is held at the Assabet Valley Regional Technical School, and that's at 215 Fitchburg Street, Marlborough. There will be workshops, exhibits, and a free lunch. So call Daniello at 617-722-1120 for tickets. The Littleton Council of Churches will provide yard work assistance to households in need on Saturday, May 21st. Contact Tina Mater at 540-2472 if you are interested in this program. This month, my guest is Jamie Cruz, Crop and Greenhouse Manager of Springdale Farm here in Littleton. So stay with us and see how the weather is treating farmers this year, and maybe she'll have some hints. Bill Vales is busy holding his computer classes on Thursdays from 10:30 to 11:30 in room 230. And this month, the classes are March 3rd. Survey of Window 10, Part 1. March 10th, organizing email. Excuse me for that. Using folders and contact lists. March 17th, Survey of Windows 10, Part 2. And March 24th, backing up data. March 31st, map applications, Google Maps, and Google Earth. And now, here's Bill with Tech Talk, and I'll return shortly with Jamie Cruz.
Thanks, Barbara. Hello, folks. Bill Vales here. This month, we're going to talk about files and file information. What is a file? A file is a resource for storing information. You can think of a file like a container that holds something. In this case, the file or container holds information. If you are creating a Word document, the file is the Word document. If you are creating a spreadsheet, the file is the spreadsheet. Similarly, if you're creating a picture, the file is the picture. If you're creating an Adobe PDF document, the file is the Adobe PDF document. You can simply extend this explanation to various types of files. We spend a lot of time on our system dealing with files. After we create a file, we edit or change the file. We often move the file from one folder to another, or we email the file. One operation we probably spend the most time on is locating the file. Often, once we create a file, we have the most difficult time locating this. Actually, we wind up losing it. The application that is used for locating files, looking at files, moving files, and looking at file information is Windows Explorer. Be sure to not confuse Windows Explorer with Internet Explorer. You can access Windows Explorer from the Start button using Search or through the Accessories folder or from the taskbar. In my example here, I am accessing Windows Explorer from the taskbar. Note that the Windows Explorer icon is a set of manila folders. There are a number of features in Windows Explorer that you need to get familiar with. Open Windows Explorer by double-clicking the icon on the taskbar. In the view of Windows Explorer being displayed here, there are 4 window panes or window tiles being displayed. They're called either panes or tiles. In pane 1, there are folders. In the example being displayed, the folder in focus is the Tech Talk folder. Pane 2 are files. In this example, the files being displayed are those files that are in the Tech Talk folder. Pane 3 are file details. Now there's no details being displayed in this example since the focus is on a folder and not a file. Pane 4 is the library. The library name is Documents Library. Now you can customize the panes being displayed by going to the Organize menu item near the top of the Windows Explorer screen. It is important to understand how to customize the look of File Explorer. Often, if we are using someone else's computer or a computer at work, we are confronted with a different look that is sometimes baffling to us. Understanding how customizing works is important because it allows us to get the user interface or the look back to something that we recognize and that works for us. Let's take a look at some of the customization options. Click on Organize and then Layout. You can see for the layout on the screen that I'm using, I have the options of Menu, Details, Navigation, and Library checked. Now, I encourage you to play around with your layout to see what changes what. Before changing anything, make a note of the current attributes that you have set, and those are indicated by being checked. This will allow you to get back to where you started should you change something and you want to revert back to where you were. Now that we have the screen organized for our purposes, I want to call your attention to the File pane or File window pane. First, notice there are 4 fields in the File pane, and those fields are called the name, type, date modified, and date created. Now, these are fields that I have customized for display. Next, notice that each file name has an icon to the left of it indicating the type of file it is. We see that there are 2 images, 3 Word files, and you'll note the W. There's 1 Adobe file and a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet files have an X that indicates Excel. In addition to the icon, there is a type field that states the file type. And you're going to want to get familiar with what the file types are for future tech talks. The fields I have selected for view are customized using the View menu option on the top of the screen. This is a topic for a future tech talk. With the following panes enabled, I want to call your attention to the Details pane near the bottom of the screen. I am now going to set my focus on the file Tech Talk Files March 2016. This is shown by appearing selected in gray. In addition to the information being stored in the file, each file has a lot of other information associated with the file. This information is being displayed in the Details pane at the bottom of the screen. Examples of some of this other information is the name of the document, file or document, the date the file was created, the date the file was last modified, the type of file it is, how large the file it is, and the author of the file. This additional information is called metadata. Metadata is information about the file as opposed to the information in the file. There is a lot more to say about files and File Explorer. In upcoming weeks, I am going to build on this information so you can master navigating through your files and folders. For now, I'd like you to experiment with the display of the various window panes, how to organize the panes, and how to interpret the information being displayed. That's it for this Tech Talk. Practice, 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 and we'll see you next month.
Did you know we have a bit of Americana right here in Littleton? We can find that at Springdale Farm on Route 119. This family-run business has been in existence since 1939 and has been the oldest continuously operated farm stand on Route 119. A piece of land that is an important link to our agricultural past and our community. The farmhouse is 300 years old, constructed by the family that cleared the ground. A little farm stand nearby is 85 years young. This is truly a young woman who takes her farming seriously. Jamie Cruz. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, good. I've seen you out there plowing in the fields, and you know, it looks like it's fun, but I know it's a lot of work. So tell me, when did you decide to become a farmer?
You know, folks ask me that question all the time, and it's really a tough one to answer. I guess I've been born and raised on that farm, and had, you know, from just a young age out there playing in the field or in the sandbox or out barefoot running through the fields. But I think probably around the age of 8, people were starting to see that farming really was in my blood. Mm-hmm. When I was 8 years old, my grandfather and my mother handed me a seed catalog, and they said, pick out something that you want to grow. And I happened to pick out some zinnia seeds, and I had to start them in the greenhouse and do all of the work by myself. And my grandfather always helped me weed them and everything. I had to pay him in cookies. But, you know, at that age, I planted something, I cared for it, and I think I made like $403 or something like that first year, and I put it in the bank, and wow. Kind of realized that hard work pays off, right? And being 8 years old and making $400 was a big deal.
Of course.
But also cutting flowers and working in the garden, and then seeing folks get excited about the product at the farm stand, and thanking you for putting some time and effort into something that makes them smile.
Right. Makes them smile. The flowers make them feel happy. The food is healthy. Yep. So, of course, they, you know, appreciate all of that. Mm-hmm. They say that farming, you know, fills the spirit. And so I imagine your farming must feel like that to you.
It's certainly a labor of love. It's definitely got its good days. It sometimes has its bad. You know, eat, breathe, and sweat farming, basically. So you have to love what you do, because it's a 365-day job.
Right. Well, it's a lot of work, and do you get a lot of help?
We're very fortunate. We have, my mom and I own and operate it together. We have some family members that still work there part-time. We have some retail staff, marketing staff that has been with us for somewhere around 5 years.
Oh.
And we source a lot of our field labor through the H-2A worker visa program, which the farm has been involved in since the 1980s.
Wow.
So we source our field labor because unfortunately people like agriculture. They want to work in it, but they don't want to work 7 days a week and 16-hour days sometimes. And if they get involved in agriculture, they don't always want to be out there picking beans or weeding a field of carrots. So we're very fortunate to be involved in that program. There's folks all across the country that are when it comes to specialty crops. And the guys that come here, they're basically family. Like I said, they've been working for us for many years, and they're professional harvesters. And so we're lucky to have them because without that field labor, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge farm. How did you fare during this winter? I mean, it was so strange. If you're having a winter and you expect deep snow, you kind of know what's going to happen on the farm. But when you have 60 degrees, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 50 degrees, you know, all winter, what's happening to the crops?
Well, it's certainly been a different winter, especially compared to last year. I mean, at this time we had 100 inches of snow on the ground. I run the crop production side of the farm. My mom handles the livestock side of the business, so it's made her job easier. We're busy calving and lambing, and there's lots of goat kids on the ground, so it's been easier on our mother animals and easier on my mom taking care of them because we haven't had a lot of snow to shovel out of feed bunks. The weather hasn't been so cold, so the water isn't freezing. On the vegetable side of our business, coming out of such a dry season last year, I really was hopeful for the moisture and the ground cover. My grandparents always used to call snow the poor man's fertilizer. So not getting very much this year after such a dry year last year, I mean, that's not really ideal for the vegetable side of the business, but you know, you win some and you lose some. So
yeah, I guess that's true about having a farm, you know, because you, even in the summer, I imagine, if you don't get rain or it's too dry or whatever. Just on the side, do you have any advice for the little gardener like myself? Because I bet my plants want to come up.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's almost 60 degrees out there right now. I think it's the same temperature outside as it is in my greenhouse right now, which is never the case. It feels like it's the end of April, especially with the way the sun's shining today. But never try to outfool Mother Nature, or outsmart her, I should say, because, you know, we go off of our old planting records. Just because it feels like you could probably go in there and start gardening doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
So, because Mother Nature will always have the last word.
Right. Well, should we be covering them, or, you know, like this is March, it's going to be March, and you know, I just wondered, should we keep them covered? Should we just leave them alone, let them do what they want? You know,
we have some, our greenhouses have some leafy greens growing in them right now, so they're covered and we can control them. I'm worried about my garlic, but I did mulch it and it's up and it looks like it should look in April, but I don't know. I kind of let Mother Nature take her course and let the plants do what the plants are going to do and deal with it later. So,
well, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to work that hard right now.
Right.
Right, yeah. Especially me, because when I moved here and I was going to join Garden Club, I felt like I should have, someone was coming to the house. They used to come to the house and they used to, you know, say, you know, do you have a garden and all, and you were kind of, you know, reviewed and I wanted them to think that I had a garden. So I saw these flowering plants in the field and I dug them up and I brought them to my yard and planted them and they looked so nice, and later I found out that I had planted weeds. And also the plant that I had in the house, I forgot to take the price tag off of it. So I'm surprised they ever accepted me, but I've learned a lot since then.
Everybody needs to start somewhere.
I know. I did learn a lot. I really love my gardens, and that's why I was kind of worried about them. But, you know, what about your shares program? Tell us something about that.
Oh yeah, our farm shares, our CSA, which stands for Community Supported Agriculture. That's kind of a fairly new venture for my family. We started back in 2010, actually, right after we went through our farm transfer. It's a great way. There's a lot of them to choose from here in our town, actually. Almost all of our farms that grow specialty crops have some form of an offering of a CSA. We sell crop shares in the winter months, and the income comes in when there's not income coming in from the fields. Folks buy a share into the upcoming growing season, and throughout the growing season, for 2016, let's say, they reap the reward of a pre-packaged box of produce. And we have a very diverse CSA offering, so you can kind of find something that suits you or your family's eating habits. You can choose from 6 different days of the week to pick up, and then you can customize it because you can add in more leafy greens for the folks that really love to eat their salads, or juice greens. Juicing's really popular right now. You can add cut flowers, you can add eggs, you can add more fruit. So you can create this box and that you pick up each week throughout the height of the season, which encourages you to eat different things. It encourages you to stay home instead of going out and cook more, and let the season dictate your dinner menu.
I really didn't know about this, and you know, today you do want to eat better fruits and vegetables because so many people are spraying things, and I know that you do things a little differently, right? Yeah, we're actually in the IPM, Integrated Pest Management Program. My mom got involved in that program back in the 1980s when a lot of farmers that were on the conventional route were taking a step back and thinking, maybe I should readjust or look at this a little differently. And we were already practicing a lot of what this IPM program was all about. Back then it was known as the Partners with Nature program. And there was a lot of support to get farmers to go this more sustainable route. Now, sustainability, everybody has their own definition of what sustainable agriculture means, but we went into that program. We were one of the first farms in the state to jump on, and we have been proudly a part of it ever since. So we have a crop inspector come out every week, and we do plant tissue cultures, we do soil tests, we bring in beneficiary insects, we do all sorts of fun stuff like that. So we have our own scientist that comes to the farm and works with us to help us be better stewards of the land, which offers a more sustainable option for our local community. And because of our strict practices in that over the course of the last many years, we were one of the first of 12 farms in the state of Massachusetts to get accepted into the Commonwealth Quality Food Safety Program. So that was pretty exciting. Yeah, that is. And that's our own little Jamie, our own little town. Makes me very proud. But yeah, this sounds really great, especially for people who want to watch all of this, you know, because I don't know why we are spending a lot of money to cure cancer and other diseases, but it seems more and more, you know, we're hearing about people getting this. So it's like you want better food because whatever's going in should be healthy enough for you, you know. Now tell me, are there many do you know if there's many family farms in Massachusetts? A lot or a couple or? Yeah, actually Massachusetts the number of farms in Massachusetts has rose over the past few years. Wow. I think we're just under 7,000, which is pretty impressive. A lot of them, our numbers have grown because small farming now is becoming more and more popular, especially here in our state where, you know, open land isn't as available as it once was, but you're seeing a lot of these larger parcels break up into smaller pieces, and you're starting to see some new young and beginner farmers that may not have you know, generations of agriculture behind them get into agriculture because there's a strong support system there and a demand for locally grown and raised foods. So that's pretty exciting for Massachusetts. Right, I think it's quite interesting because you know, a few years ago we thought the farmers were going to quit or something, you know. So it's good to hear that No, and especially here because you think of it as being the Midwest and, you know, it's all out there.
They've definitely made a comeback, and we are so thankful and lucky to have folks that have joined on this local food movement.
Right.
Because, you know, agriculture, it's economy of scale, the cost of doing business plays a big role in whether farmers can make it. And, you know, we have a community that wants to support agriculture in their backyard, so they will make the special trip to the farm stands, or they will buy a CSA share, or they will make a trip to their farmers market.
Right.
They'll come out of the grocery store, even if that means a couple extra trips and some extra time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. So the other thing I did want to ask you about was your mother's taking care of all the stock, right? So tell us a little bit about that.
So we got involved in the livestock business back in about, I think it was like 2008 actually. My family is Greek, so we had always raised lambs, and we had always produced pigs and steers for the family. But right around that time there was a big interest in local meat, and we went through our farm transfer, and we walked out and she said, "There's a cattle herd for sale in the next town over." And I looked at her like she was crazy. And so we're first generation cattle producers. So she does a great job. And she, you know, animal welfare is very important to her. We cater to a niche market, so, you know, everything's pasture-based, and we raise registered Angus steers. We have a cow-calf operation, so we breed all of our own, and then we finish all of our steers. We raise hogs, poultry, lambs, and goats, and all of that is processed at Blood Farm in West Groton. Massachusetts has only 2 USDA-inspected processing facilities. We're lucky to have one right here in our little agri-hood. And all of the meat comes back and gets sold through our farm stand to a couple local restaurants. We sell to Donnellan's Supermarket and through our CSA program. So
I got to remember that when I go to Donnellan's. Good, that's great. And so again, a lot of work.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and we've, you know, being in agriculture and operating a farm here, especially in New England, we really had to diversify, and we're happy that we did because it proved to be a great choice. But added work, but it also added more. We opened up more jobs, you know, to local community and whatnot too. So, you know, we sometimes wish that we were just growing vegetables and we didn't have all the acreage that we have now, but those days are only when you're having a bad one. So we're very happy of where the farm has evolved to.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out there, but we need you to keep this farming going. So, you know, we need you to find some nice guy so you can.
I know, everybody gives me a hard time about that.
We want it to be a farm stand, a family farm stand forever. So
not everybody wants to date a farm girl though, so I work a lot, right?
We'll find somebody, but
that's funny.
Because I'm a little worried, you know. We need to keep this going.
A lot of people give me a hard time about that. It's kind of funny.
Well, I'm trying to think, is there something else that, you know, you feel is important you would like our viewers to know?
You know, I think that Littleton is a very special community. They are very supportive of agriculture. They're very supportive of their farmers. And the community is always out bebopping around, shopping at their farm stands. I mean, look how many we have. You know, we have one dairy farm still holding on. We have our apple orchard up at Nagog, and we have the 3 farm stands down on 119, as well as some new startup farms in town. So Littleton's a good place to be when you're a farmer, and so I guess I'm thankful to be farming in a town that's so supportive of what I do. You know, I'm very involved in Massachusetts Farm Bureau. So I've heard all sorts of stories and difficulties that farmers face. doing business, doing agricultural business in their towns. And even as I was appointed to the American Farm Bureau Young Farmer and Rancher Committee a year ago, and hearing the story now on the national level, hearing about what farmers go through from coast to coast in the Midwest, down south, etc. So I always just take a deep breath and I'm like, wow, I'm really lucky to be involved in agriculture in my little town. And Littleton is fortunate because all of our farms that are still here and farming strong all have the next generation in place, and that is a good thing to have.
It is. Well, we, we are lucky, and I like that country look. I like that you drive by a farm stand or two or three. I think that is so neat. After visiting many places in the world, I do like the small town and the farm stands. When do you open?
We actually usually open around April 1st. We don't have anything too exciting going on there, but the pansies come out. The freezers are always stocked with our pasture-raised meat, and we have the eggs and the dairy product. And then the most exciting time is when asparagus hits. And then, of course, strawberry season is really when we really kick off our growing season. So.
Good.
And it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's trying to be.
Coming in quick.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you were here today. I really enjoyed the visit, and I want everyone out there to visit their farm stand. Visit the farm stands here in Littleton, and especially when it opens April 1st, get over there and see what they're doing, even if you just have to talk to Jamie about something. So remember to eat healthy and eat farm fresh. Thank you. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to hug a senior.